In the early 13th century, something extraordinary happened on the plains of Central Asia. A collection of nomadic tribes, divided by rivalries and generations of warfare, suddenly became one of the most powerful forces the world had ever seen. Within only a few decades, Mongol armies would conquer territories stretching from China to Central Asia, Persia, Russia, and the borders of Europe. Their armies moved with astonishing speed. Their commanders defeated states far larger than themselves. But the Mongol Empire did not begin with an empire. It began with one boy. Temujin was born sometime around 1162 on the harsh plains of Mongolia. He was born into a world where survival depended on loyalty, family, and strength. The Mongolian steppe was vast, beautiful, and unforgiving. Thousands of families survived by moving with their herds across an enormous land of grass, mountains, and open sky. Temujin's father, Yasuge, was a respected tribal leader, but the steppe was a dangerous place, and alliances could change as quickly as the wind. But Temujin's childhood would soon be marked by tragedy. When he was still a young boy, his father was poisoned by enemies. After his father's death, Temujin's family was abandoned by their own people, but his troubles were only beginning. The Tayachud captured him and kept him under guard. Temujin was still only a boy. But Temujin refused to accept his fate. One night, he escaped. One night, he survived and eventually found his way back to his family. But the boy who returned was no longer the same. Temujin had learned an important lesson. On the steppe, survival depended on the people willing to stand beside you. As a young man, Temujin married Berta, the daughter of a neighboring tribal leader. Their marriage would become one of the most important relationships in his life. But Temujin understood that survival alone was not enough. He needed allies. Another important figure entered Temujin's life, Jamuka, his childhood friend and blood brother. For a time, they would stand together. Temujin began attracting men who valued loyalty over noble birth. His following grew, not because of his birthright, but because men believed he could lead. Among them was Jamuka, his old friend and blood brother. For a time, they shared the same ambition, but the two men wanted different things, and their friendship would not last forever. Temujin was building something different. His followers came from many clans, united by loyalty rather than blood. Jamuka followed the old traditions of the steppe. Temujin was beginning to challenge them. Eventually, their followers began to choose sides. The alliance was breaking apart. Soon, former allies became enemies, and the struggle for power began. Temujin suffered setbacks, but defeat did not destroy his following. It taught him to adapt. Temujin began rewarding loyalty and ability, not simply noble birth. More men began to leave their old alliances and join him. Temujin's small following was becoming an army. But every new ally created another enemy. The Mongol tribes were moving toward a final struggle for supremacy. Temujin's forces marched against the tribes that still opposed him. The struggle would decide who ruled the steppe. One by one, Temujin defeated the tribes that stood against him. His greatest rivals were disappearing from the steppe. For the first time, the rival tribes of Mongolia were being brought under one authority. The steppe was becoming one. Then, in 1206, the Mongol leaders gathered for a great Kurultai. The moment that changed history had arrived. In 1206, Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, the Great Khan. But becoming Khan was not the end of Temujin's story. It was only the beginning. With the tribes united, Genghis Khan turned his attention beyond the steppe. His first major campaigns would begin in China. The Mongols first struck the kingdom of Western Sha. Its cities faced an enemy unlike any they had known. But Western Sha was only the beginning. To the east stood the powerful Jin Empire. Their greatest weapon was not simply numbers, it was speed. Mongol armies could strike quickly, disappear, and return from another direction. Their enemies struggled to predict them. To the west stood the powerful Khwarazmian Empire. It controlled much of Central Asia and the heart of the Silk Road. The Silk Road connected its cities to the richest markets of the world, and it attracted the attention of the Mongols. Genghis Khan first sought trade and peaceful relations. He sent a caravan and diplomatic envoys to Khwarez. But at Otrar, the caravan was seized. The situation turned into a diplomatic disaster. Genghis Khan demanded an explanation. When none came, diplomacy ended. In 1219, the Mongol armies crossed into Central Asia. One of history's most devastating campaigns had begun. In 1220, the Mongols reached Bukhara, one of the great cities of Central Asia. The city resisted, but its defenses could not stop the Mongol army. Bukhara fell. Next came Samarkand, the powerful capital of the Khwarazmian Empire. Its fate would be even more dramatic. The Khwarazmian Shah Muhammad abandoned his capital and fled west. Genghis Khan sent his greatest commanders after him. Jebe and Subotai began the pursuit. Muhammad escaped again and again, but eventually he died in exile on a small island in the Caspian Sea. But Jebe and Subotai did not turn back. They continued west, deep into lands the Mongols had never seen. Their journey would take them across the Caucasus and toward the lands of Eastern Europe. Jebe and Subotai crossed the Caucasus, entering a world of mountains and powerful kingdoms. The Mongols soon encountered the armies of Georgia, but Jebe and Subotai relied on speed and deception. The Mongols appeared to retreat, drawing their enemies into pursuit. The Mongols then turned north toward the lands of the Kipchaks. Their pursuit was carrying them toward Eastern Europe. In 1223, the Mongols met a coalition of Kipchak and Rus forces near the Kalka River. The victory shocked the rulers of the region. A new power had appeared from the east. After years of campaigning, Jebe and Subotai finally turned back toward Mongolia. While his generals explored the west, Genghis Khan continued to expand his empire in Asia. But another campaign was waiting for him. In 1226, Genghis Khan launched his final campaign against Western Sha. During the campaign, Genghis Khan's health began to fail. The ruler who had conquered an enormous empire was approaching the end of his life. Genghis Khan died in 1227. He left behind one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. But his empire did not die with him. It would continue to expand long after Genghis Khan was gone.